Many gardeners blame July heat when their tomatoes suddenly develop pale patches, soft spots, poor color, or slower growth. But in many cases, the heat isn't the real problem. The damage often starts a few days earlier with a pruning decision that seems completely reasonable at the time. What makes this mistake so costly is that the plant can look healthier immediately after pruning, while the actual damage develops quietly afterward. Research on tomato fruit temperature helps explain why this happens. And before this video ends, you'll see exactly how a few missing leaves can affect an entire summer harvest. And if you are not subscribed to Smart Gardening yet, do that now, and give this video a like so more gardeners can find it. Many tomato growers start feeling concerned in July because the plants become large, dense, and difficult to manage. At that point, pruning seems like the logical solution. After all, better airflow has long been recommended to help reduce disease pressure. The problem is that July is very different from spring. When temperatures climb and sunlight becomes more intense, the leaves you're removing may be doing far more than simply taking up space. Tomato leaves act as the plant's first line of protection against heat stress. They shade developing fruit, help regulate plant temperature through transpiration, and supply the energy needed to support continued fruit production. When a large amount of foliage is removed during a hot spell, fruit that was previously protected can suddenly be exposed to direct afternoon sun. The effects often don't appear immediately. In fact, the plant may look cleaner and more organized for several days. That's what makes this mistake so easy to miss. By the time symptoms begin showing up on the fruit, most gardeners are looking at watering, fertilizer, or weather as the cause. But research on tomato production has shown that fruit exposed to excessive heat and direct solar radiation can experience damage that starts long before obvious symptoms appear. And some of the earliest warning signs are often mistaken for completely different problems. What surprises many gardeners is that tomatoes and their fruit do not respond to heat in exactly the same way. A tomato plant may appear green and healthy while individual fruits are experiencing temperatures well above the surrounding air. Studies have found that fruit exposed to direct sunlight can become significantly hotter than the air temperature around it. Once fruit temperatures climb too high, normal ripening processes begin to suffer. This is where a condition known as Sunscald often begins. The fruit surface receives intense sunlight and heat for extended periods, damaging cells beneath the skin. At first, you may notice pale, whitish, or yellow areas on the side facing the sun. Later, those areas can become papery, sunken, or vulnerable to secondary problems. Many gardeners assume a disease has appeared, when the original trigger was actually excessive exposure after pruning. The science behind this is fairly straightforward. Leaves intercept sunlight before it reaches the fruit. They also cool the plant through transpiration, a process similar to natural evaporative cooling. When too much canopy disappears during a period of high temperatures, the plant loses part of that protective system. And this leads to an important question. If heavy pruning in July can increase heat stress, what should gardeners remove? And just as importantly, what should they leave alone? The answer is not to stop pruning altogether. It's to change the purpose of pruning once summer heat arrives. Earlier in the season, gardeners often prune to shape the plant and improve structure. In July, the priority shifts toward protecting fruit, while reducing only the growth that is genuinely causing problems. Start by looking at the lowest leaves near the soil surface. If they are yellowing, diseased, or regularly splashed by irrigation or rain, those leaves are reasonable candidates for removal. This can help reduce the spread of certain soil-borne diseases without significantly affecting the plant's natural shade canopy. Next, examine areas where foliage is so dense that air movement is severely restricted. Rather than removing large sections of leaves, think in terms of selective thinning. A few carefully chosen cuts can improve airflow while still keeping clusters of tomatoes protected from direct afternoon sun. The goal is moderation, not maximum visibility. One of the most common July mistakes is stripping leaves away from fruit clusters because gardeners want tomatoes to receive more sunlight and ripen faster. In moderate weather, that may seem harmless. During periods of intense summer heat, however, those leaves are often serving as protective umbrellas. Removing them can expose fruit to conditions far more stressful than most gardeners realize. And there's another reason experienced growers become more cautious with midsummer pruning, because every leaf removed affects far more than shade alone. Every healthy tomato leaf is also a food-producing factory. Through photosynthesis, leaves convert sunlight into sugars that fuel growth, support root activity, and help developing fruit reach their full size and flavor potential. When gardeners remove a large amount of healthy foliage during July, they're not only reducing shade, they're also reducing part of the plant's energy-producing capacity. This matters even more during periods of heat stress. High temperatures already place additional demands on the plant. The roots must work harder to move water. The leaves must increase transpiration to cool the canopy. And developing fruit continues competing for resources. If a substantial portion of healthy foliage has recently been removed, the plant has fewer resources available to meet those demands. That's why experienced commercial growers often become conservative with pruning during extreme heat events. Their goal is to maintain a balance between airflow and canopy protection rather than maximizing either one. A tomato plant with adequate leaf cover is often better equipped to handle a heat wave than a heavily pruned plant that suddenly loses its natural protection. Another detail many gardeners overlook is timing. Even when pruning is necessary, the moment you make those cuts can influence how much stress the plant experiences. And a simple adjustment in timing can make a noticeable difference during the hottest weeks of summer. If pruning needs to be done in July, try to avoid the hottest part of the day. Midday temperatures place the greatest stress on the plant, and pruning at that time can compound the problem. Early morning is generally the better option because the plant is fully hydrated, temperatures are lower, and the cut surfaces have time to dry as the day progresses. It's also wise to pay attention to the weather forecast. If a period of extreme heat is expected over the next several days, postponing non-essential pruning is often the safer choice. A healthy leaf that seems unnecessary today may provide valuable protection during a stretch of intense sun and high temperatures. After pruning, continue monitoring the fruit that was previously shaded. The effects of overexposure do not always appear immediately. Symptoms may take several days to develop, which is one reason gardeners frequently fail to connect the damage with a recent pruning session. By the time discoloration or sunscald becomes visible, the original cause can easily be overlooked. This delayed response creates a lot of confusion in home gardens. Gardeners often increase watering, add fertilizer, or search for diseases when the real issue began with canopy loss. Fortunately, there are several signs that can help you determine whether your tomato plant is handling summer pruning well or whether it has already started showing signs of heat-related stress. One encouraging thing about tomato plants is that they often provide warning signs before serious damage occurs. After pruning, pay close attention to fruit that suddenly receives several hours of direct afternoon sun. If you notice pale or slightly bleached areas developing on the sun-facing side, that's an indication the fruit may be receiving more exposure than it can comfortably handle. The leaves can also provide useful clues. Temporary wilting during the hottest part of the day is not unusual in extreme heat, but if the plant appears increasingly stressed despite adequate soil moisture, excessive canopy removal may be contributing to the problem. The plant is simply working harder to regulate temperature with fewer leaves available to perform that function. On the other hand, a well-balanced pruning job usually produces a different result. Air continues moving through the plant, lower problem leaves are removed, fruit remains shaded during the most intense part of the day, and the canopy still looks substantial rather than stripped. That's often the sign that the plant has retained enough leaf area to protect itself while still benefiting from improved airflow. Understanding these signals can help gardeners make adjustments before significant losses occur. And perhaps the most important part of this entire discussion is knowing what kind of results you can realistically expect when you avoid this common July pruning mistake.